Well, for today's video, I'm going to go through a couple of key motorcycle related news items that hit. It's been a pretty busy month and week in particular. We're going to start out with BMW's announcement on September 28th of their new R1300 GS. Here's a picture of it. It is rated 145 horsepower. It has a rated 145 horsepower, 110 foot-pounds of torque, in a lighter package that weighs a total of 523 pounds. BMW Motorrad indicates its price ranges from 19,000 plus. I think if you fully option one out, you're going to be pushing 30 grand, but probably on average mid-20s, I think, for how most people would configure it. Now, I think the looks of this is going to be pretty polarizing to many people. Some people are going to love the redesign, some people are going to hate it. My take is that BMW has made a copy of the Ducati Multi. They've gone all in with that beakish-like front end, which again appeals to some people. I had a Ducati Multistrada years ago. I guess I got it back in 2016. I like the bike in spite of its looks. I'm not a fan of the looks, to be honest with you, but overall as a package, I think it looks like a nice bike. But if you're going to spend that kind of money, would you consider getting a Multistrada instead? The V4 versions are the higher displacement bikes now. The V2 is the smaller 900cc bike. But if you look at a Multistrada V4S, you're looking at 170 horsepower, 92 foot-pounds of torque, in a package that weighs 43 pounds less than the BMW at 480 pounds. Price per performance, I would say Ducati's got the edge, but again, there are people who buy Ducatis, stick with Ducatis. There's people who buy BMWs, stick with BMW. I don't know how much crossover there is in that segment. So let me know which bike you would prefer. Speaking of BMW, they issued about a week ago a full stop order on all new motorcycles. This was apparently related to some component related to their evaporative emissions system, but it affects all new motorcycle sales for BMW in Canada and the United States. There's been no updated announcement from BMW, so apparently this fail stop is still in effect. I'd be curious if any of you have gone to your local BMW dealer and heard more details about this. It's unfortunate for BMW in that they announced this sales stop just a few days before they unveiled their new R1300 GS. So very unfortunate timing for BMW, although by all accounts it was a voluntary sales stoppage. It wasn't government imposed. Also, I made a post about this on the community tab on my channel, and that is Suzuki has announced a 2024 limited production Katana, and this is what it looks like. I think it looks fantastic. To me, it looks basically like the 2023 that if you lived in Canada and other countries you could get, but wasn't offered for sale in the United States. I think some of you commented, I think Gene Clark, that it's a great model for selling bikes. You don't take a risk on unsold inventory. You know, I have a 2020 Katana that I'm sure you hear me rave about all the time. Absolutely love that bike. I'd say it's my all-time favorite bike all around. So I thought it was unfortunate that it was only offered for sale in 2019. They languished in dealer showrooms until 2020, 2021, and then the dealers blew them all out when everybody was trying to buy a motorcycle a couple of years ago. But I think this bike looks fantastic. Now for this new version, they claim more peak power than the 2020 Katana, although mine's not stock anymore. I've got a full exhaust, more Mafia tune on it. It's putting out about 153 horsepower now and about 83 foot-pounds of torque. So I would suspect my bike's still going to outperform this new version, but it looks really good, and it's got a bi-directional quick shifter, which my 2020 does not have. So essentially, if you want to compare features between the 2020 Katana and this new version, you might want to check out this video here that I did recently comparing the two models. And continuing with Suzuki, we've got the 2024 Hayabusa, the 25-year anniversary model of the Hayabusa, in this beautiful orange color. It started showing up at dealer showrooms a couple of weeks ago, although by all accounts they've sold out very quickly. So you might be able to find a few unsold ones out there, but probably not for much longer. Now on the flip side, I did make a pit stop at my local Harley dealer around Kansas City, the one that I would never be able to buy a new motorcycle from, or used one for that matter, because it's one of these shady mega dealers. But a lot of times I like to stop in just if I'm in the area to see what's going on. And they have piles and piles of unsold new motorcycle inventory. So even with the production stoppage that Harley announced back in June at their York, Pennsylvania plant, it apparently didn't last long enough to keep inventory from stacking up at these dealerships. So I suspect that these dealers are going to have to unload these before the end of the year at some pretty significant discounts, but we'll see. I'd be curious as to what you've experienced at your local Harley dealership. Have you seen similar ballooning of inventory, or are they selling like normal? So please let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and please stay tuned for future videos. Thanks very much.